The reason why majority of our industry is not consistent because our industry does not understand business.
80% of our clients probably get contracts locked up in the first month. You're the sales guy. Do your fucking job. We're just the marketer.
Capitalism.
The greatest fucking thing ever invented. All right, guys, what's up? We here. We got Amber Holmes, the guy Shawn Surani. He don't need any introduction, but if you don't know him, guy's killing it. Millionaire before 21, even a more millionaire. He said he going for 20. Every 20s he adding 100 million to his net worth. This guy right here is somebody's fucking serious. If you don't follow this guy, you need to fucking follow this guy. If you're in real estate, if you're thinking about getting in real estate, if you even hear about real estate, if you're not hearing it from this guy, I don't know if you're hearing it for real, because he's the most down-to-earth guy. He's an open book, and I literally had to beg him to get on this podcast. He's like, Courtney, I don't want to give these guys this gym, because if I give it out, it's going to put a lot of other guys in the industry, like, because they be bullshitting. And he's like, man, he's like, man, dude, I don't want to give these guys so many gems, because it's going to put a lot of people out of business. So I'm like, bro, please get on here. Please talk to the people, talk to my clients, talk to everyone on the internet, man, dude, because the shit you have to say, people should have to listen. So like I said, since he was 17 years old, been hitting consecutively over 200 grand a month. Guys, do the fucking math. 200 times 12, $2.4 million at 17-year-old, and he's fucking 21 now as of like 2 days ago, guys. So for first things first, happy birthday. Thank you so much, brother, man.
Thank you.
And we got Chris here. He's been rocking it with Shawn for a while, have done numerous of deals, super good in sales, great in sales. I think I'm better, but, you know, he's really decent. He's all right. No, I'm kidding. He's a great guy, and I had the chance to spend entire weekend with these guys and a couple more gentlemen that is also behind the cameras. They're more behind the scene type of guys, but everybody here is getting money. And I wanted all of them to get on the podcast, but some's like, too many gems going. So too many gems going to get dropped, and I think that ought to be a 2-hour podcast. We want to keep this limited because we do got shit to do, and we do got money to make, right? So thank you, Shawn, so much, dude. I appreciate you for joining today, and let's hop right into it if you guys don't mind.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
All right.
Talk to me.
All right, guys. So first things first, Shawn. 200K. We know how fucking hard that is.
Yeah.
The industry already don't even have people that are consecutively active, for real, man. They're not closing more than one deal a month. Most wholesalers not even making 10K a month. Why do you feel like you, and these guys are 40, man. I kid you not. Like, we talk to guys that are like 40, and they're not even making 5K a month. They can't pay their bills trying to wholesale. But you're 17 years old. Since you were 17 years old, you were hitting over 200K a month. That's thousands of employees you've probably been through. You've just been churning and burning. You've just been killing and scaling up, man. You've been consistent. Most guys haven't. What do you think one of the biggest things, biggest strategies you probably implemented to help you stay consistent that someone watching this video probably can go and say, shit, I can implement that too and probably help them out?
So why we are consistent and why most of the industry is not?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yes.
It's a great question. I think the reality of the situation is very clear. The reason why a predominant majority of our industry is not consistent is because our industry does not understand business. They understand real estate, right? They try to make it, hey, I'm in real estate, but they don't understand business, which is also why 99% of real estate agents are not successful. It's why a majority of real estate agents, I'm talking over 51%, we got a broker sitting behind the scenes here behind the camera, he'll tell you the same thing. A report came out, over 50% of real estate agents in the country are behind on their rent or they cannot afford their rent payment. Why is that? Because real estate can give you a big perception of a shiny object syndrome. And the reality is to be successful in any industry, real estate, we got an exotic car dealer sitting behind the camera, that industry, it doesn't matter what industry you're a part of. At the end of the day, the product is the product.
Yeah.
What do you know about business?
Yeah.
And I think that's where most people go wrong is they spend all of their time on real estate education. How do I underwrite a property, right? What softwares do I need? What CRM do I need?
Yeah.
But what do you know about business? What do you know about customer acquisition cost? Average lifetime of customer. How many leads it takes to convert into a contract, right? How many contracts actually convert into a deal? Are you geotagging your leads to say, okay, this territory provides this percentage return and this territory provides this percentage return? No one's doing that. And I think that's where most people go wrong. They get glamorized by I'm in the real estate industry, and they don't realize, hold on, what do I actually know about business? What do I know about marketing? What do I know about sales? And that's what it takes to be consistent in our industry. And that's what we do. And that's what a very minute few do in our industry. And those people that do it are successful because at the end of the day, A and B goes to C. 1 + 1 = 2. This is, it's logic. But you got to treat it as a business. You can't treat it as a hustle. And you're absolutely correct, Courtney. There's a lot of people in our industry who struggle. They call themselves entrepreneurs, business people, be your own boss, the whole nine, and they're making $5,000 a month. And even that $5,000 a month that they're making, it's taking them double the amount of time that they're working 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
It's foolish.
Yeah, because they don't understand business, like you said. Dude, it's like, I'm really big on that because I talk to a lot of investors, as you know, man. I talk to them, and the best clients we have compared to like the best clients and the worst clients, the best clients understand business. They know business. There's no way in hell like, hey, turn my ads on, I'm going to close the deal in like 14 days. Right? Like, you guys have the infrastructure, probably, cash, like, talk to a contract, like, you guys locked up, boom, a deal, like, while we was out here, you locked it up, boom, and they'll probably be closing sometime soon because you guys have the infrastructure for that. But a one-man army, he think he going to get a lead today and start closing the ASAP because they don't understand their cash conversion cycle.
It's the new, spot on, I want to piggyback off that. That's the problem with our industry today, with our society today. It's a very instant gratification society we're a part of today. And what people don't understand, again, going back to the fact of, do you understand business, or are you easily enamored by the fact I'm in real estate?
Yeah.
Right? When you go study marketing just a decade ago, 10 years ago, you talk about what was marketing 10 years ago. Marketing 10 years ago was TV, it was radio, and it was billboards.
Yeah.
That was marketing 10 years ago. Okay.
Yep.
Did you know Lamar, Outfront, all the biggest billboard providers in the country, they wouldn't take your money unless you signed up for a bare minimum 6-month commitment with them. iHeartMedia, the nation's biggest radio media buyer in the country, same thing, 6-month commitment. Why do you think that all these big-time marketing conglomerates that were responsible for complete lead generation across every single industry in the past decade did that? It's very simple. Because they know what the new age generation, the generation that is addicted to instant gratification, does not know, which is that it's marketing is the game of on top of mind. Top of mind. That's this game. Nobody in the marketing industry converts on the first shot. It's just not happening. So marketing is all about how many times can you get in front of a person. So when you talk about marketing, you talk about consistency. Well, sorry to break it to you, but there's nothing you can do if you're talking about consistency. If consistency is what it takes to achieve results, the reality is, in our business, consistency means more than a month. I'm not going to say I've cracked the code in terms of what is the quantitative number behind, hey, this is the exact amount of time it takes before you're going to see a great return on what you're doing. Yep. But the reality is that 1 month of doing anything is not consistent enough.
Yeah.
And you can go look into the rule of 10,000 that says to master a craft or to master a subject, you have to commit 10,000 hours to that specific subject.
Yeah.
Well, you're not achieving a 10,000 hour input to get the desired output within a 1 month time frame. So marketing is all about consistency. And that's the reason why the real marketing conglomerates of America require these long-term commitments to make sure they're able to deliver results to you, because they know up front, I'm not going to be able to do anything for you for a month, because it's going to take 3 months for people to just start recognizing your brand.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's what it is with regards to marketing. And the problem that we face right now in our industry, and why a lot of people are not successful, is because they think that this is a get-rich-quick type of situation where I could come in, buy a lead, close it, and boom, I'm rich.
Yes.
And it just simply doesn't work that way, and social media is an improper job displaying this industry and making it something that it's not.
100%. 100%. And even piggyback on like that, 10,000 hours, the master of 10,000, you have to put 10,000 hours in before you actually become the master of it. Yeah. Most people, like most wholesalers, they think they're going to master wholesaling like in 3 months, right? But we're going to push that to the side. As we were saying, what's the goals for all of your sales guys? Make more than like the average wholesalers making in a month, right? You can talk about that if you want to. But let's Same thing far as in no one want to be a marketer. You don't want to master marketing, right? So some guys say, hey, I just run my ads myself. You have to put in 10,000 hours to become a master at, marketing. You don't have 10,000 hours for marketing, 10,000 hours for wholesaling and understanding real estate because you just try to cut corners. And those guys are the guys we see that get the least amount of results. Never had, this is 100%, we've never had a client go 6 months without getting a deal, which is crazy. So we should make our commitment longer, but we're not. Because now what we have gotten better at now is, honestly, choosing just better business people that knows it's 6 months. Like, hey, I'm not expecting a result in the first month. I'm not expecting results in the first 2 months, 3 months. But you're going to get them. And I'm not saying, like you said, you can't put a quantitative number on it saying, hey, if we go exactly 4 months and 10 days, you're going to get a huge return. You need to know your own cash conversion cycle. I can't tell you your cash conversion cycle, right? I don't know how good of a sales guy you are, but sales and marketing go hand in hand. And if you want to come in and say, hey, as soon as I turn the ads on, hey man, dude, why that wasn't a good lead? It's not a good lead now. You know what I mean? It may be a good lead in 10 days, maybe a good lead in 10 weeks, maybe a good lead in 10 months. But you only paid $50 for that lead. Or you only paid $100, $200, $300 for that lead, and that lead's going to turn to $20,000. Right. Kind of like what you were saying. And I saw on your post, I watched one of your reels on Instagram. Guys, I'm telling you, check this guy out on Instagram. He dropped a reel at Shawn Surani, guys. Verified, like dead ass verified. Verified banking account HUDs. He can show, like, he's not a bullshitter, this guy. Complete open book. Like, I literally spent 3 days with him. I feel like I know this guy. But I saw on the reel, I think you were talking to Dylan in the office. No, or you. And he was like, hey, the homeowner was like, hey, I'll be ready to sell in 6 months or a year. And you was like, don't wait the 6 months to call him back. Call him back in half that time. Stay on top of mine. Call him back in half that time. If they say wait 6 months, I'm going to call you back in 3. To see in case things change. Because you may want to sell it in 5. And I'm planning on calling you back in 6 when you said call you back in 6. But wholesaler hit you up in 5. Because that's all it is. It's super competitive. And that wholesaler that did hit him up in 5 months, he probably just got in and actually screw that homeowner over. You know what I mean? And like you guys could have came in and said, fuck. So staying top of mind and being consistent in sales, I think is one of the biggest things for wholesalers. And I think that's why I wanted to bring you on, because I would say master both far as in cold calling thing. Like you got that dialed into the T. Inbound, one of the best clients. I'm thinking, how is this guy? 21-year-old, was 20 at the time, right? 2-3 days ago was 20. 20-year-old built a huge team that can actually manage the leads, not complaining about the lead quality, and actually doing deals with a great cost per deal. I don't know if you want to share that, but we don't have to share that if you don't want to. But a great killer cost per deal. But there's guys that say, I've been in the industry for 20 years, and they can't sell. They get a lead. It's not this lead isn't motivated. And you were saying, the ones, okay, you want to pick you back up?
Let's touch on that. Okay. Let's touch on that real quick. Because this is a point that frustrates the hell out of me and what's wrong with our industry. Somewhere along the way, someone came along and said, our industry, for us to be successful, we have to find and target distressed individuals. I'm going through bankruptcy. I'm going through probate. I'm going through divorce. I need to sell fast. And I think the biggest problem in our industry is understanding the true definition of a lead. I think that's a problem in our industry.
I like that.
What is a lead? So I'll tell you
Talk
guys
to him, Coach.
very clearly what is a lead for us in our business. A lead for us in what we do is anyone who raises their hand and says, I would consider or be interested in an offer from your company to purchase my property. That's all we need. That's a lead for us. Now, it is your job to see how good of a salesperson you are to pull more info out of them and try to leverage that info that you get out of them to close the sale ultimately. Boom. But you don't need more than 1% of interest. It's just all about intrigue. Can you convert intrigue into business? And that's where the good salespeople get separated from the great salespeople.
100%.
How good are you about taking intrigue and converting it into dollars?
Yeah.
If you want layups, the reality is that a lot of our industry, again, a huge majority of our industry thinks we only go after people that are in distressed situations. Well, I got news for you. Chris's 8-month-old baby boy can close a lead that says, hey, I'm going bankrupt. I'm in a divorce.
Facts.
My so-and-so just died. And I'm asking $100,000 less than what Zillow says my house is worth.
Facts.
So, at the end of the day, I love that for us. I hate it for our industry as a whole. It's not developing our industry.
Yeah.
But the problem is too many people have this misconception.
Yeah.
And too many people are throwing away leads and messing up the game. And that's why only 1% of the industry eats. Because the other 99% of the industry won't even look at a lead unless they're asking below Zestimate. What are we doing here?
Yeah, and that's the truth. So we had this one client of ours that we had to let go. Man, and we look at his CRM. Lead in this area, lead off market, lead everything. Calls her. I think she didn't want air because she knew because we check the CRMs because we do our quality calls to make sure quality control, make sure quality stays good. We checked the CRM. She wasn't asking for that much because we saw the note. She told us the asking price. She told us everything that was wrong with the property. I think she wanted $20,000 less. Called her one time, listened to the call. I'm like, all right, he's a terrible sales guy, right? Because we pay per deal. If he's a terrible sales guy, we made a terrible bet, right? Listen to his call, and I'm like, man, he's a terrible sales guy. And then we get on the quality call. He's like, yeah, that was a bad lead. We was like, hey, rate the quality of that lead. And he's like, oh yeah, that was a 2 out of 10. I was like, why? She's like, she wanted too much. I was like, how much more? He's like, you ain't negotiate her down? Nah, dude, she was stuck on her price. I was like, you're not gonna call her again? You're not gonna follow up with her later? Because 2-3 months, she's willing to take less. You're not gonna actually pull more information out of her? Kind of like what he was telling me and kind of what you just said then. You gotta get all of that information out of her. And I have to explain to you why you're fucking delusional for wanting this much for their home, because we all gotta eat on this pot. And then sometimes that's what it takes for you to just educate the homeowner honestly on why they're not going to get what they're asking for. And if somebody did, they just want to lock it up and then leave them stranded for like 30 days just so they can stop shopping around. But whereas in you guys, like you were saying, like, let me walk you through the entire process. Here's what we're going to do. Get dialed in. You guys don't have to share your process there. So you can talk a little bit about that, Chris.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, the biggest part is the education piece that you touched right. You hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they come out, they look at their estimates too. They're looking at their estimates too like we are.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily true that a deal's not a deal if it's not under his estimate, because I've locked up numerous deals over his estimate and they were sizable spreads between 20 and 50K. You know what I'm saying? So it just all depends on the area, what's going on in the area. Are you doing your due diligence in the area yourself to be able to have, the credibility to even educate this seller? Do they trust your credibility? Because what all boils down to, you're the professional. You know what I'm saying? That's what this guy's always told me. You're the professional. Don't ever get it twisted to let them feel like they're the ones professional.
They know,
Yeah, they, let them realize they need us, obviously. You need us to purchase your home.
Yeah.
So that's exactly how I play it. Educate them. Even let them know something simple as list versus walk away. You know what I mean by list versus walk away?
Yeah.
All right. So the list price, common misconception that, okay, this house, my neighbor sold for $340. Well, okay, your neighbor sold for $340. Do you know how much they walked away with? A lot of times I get 80%, 8 times out of 10, I get, what do you mean? What they walked away with. I'm like, okay, this is where I can help you. Now I turn into the doctor.
Now they're interested. now it's like, 380. What do you mean walk away? They actually ain't walk away with 380. You like
exactly.
Okay.
And I go as confident to say you can call your neighbor up right now and ask them, did they walk away with 340? And I will put it all on. I'll give you exactly what you're asking for. Matter of fact, 10K more if they tell you they walked away with what they listed at, because it's just not true. You're talking about closing costs. You're talking about attorney fees, title fees. You're talking about inspection fees, a whole lot of fees including this. List fees, you got to pay the agent. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay the middleman where all they're doing, no offense to agents, but I mean, come on, this is a new way of doing real estate. They're literally just throwing it on the market, something anybody can do. Something they can do, the seller can do themselves, obviously. It's called a FISBO.
Yeah.
You can do it yourself. They're literally throwing it on the market, see who bites, and then they go from there. They get 6% of your earnings, just like that. Boom. Versus we're taking care of all the closing costs. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to cover all the title fees, reverse fees, do all of that, and we're going to get you at respectable market. It's going to be a fair market price we get you at. We're going to get you what you will walk away with, if not more than they even walked away with, because of that agent being greedy, having to pay their brokerage, having to pay themselves. An average is 6%, but some agents these days are struggling, so they're charging a little bit more than 6%.
That's fucking good. That's why. So throughout this trip, guys, I'm driving in the car. Like, as soon as we got in the I was telling Gio that as soon as we got in the car with him, and we just started talking about real estate instantly. Or we walking, we had dinner, we talking about real estate instantly. Little shit like that. It's just gems. Like, you take that shit, put it in your pocket. You know, like that probably went over a lot of people's head. But the people head that it didn't go over, like, what did you walk away with? That's a fucking great strategy. I haven't thought of it. And I talk to a lot. They don't. Right. You know what I mean? So I talk to a lot of real estate investors. I know they, for a fact, they don't ask questions like that. And you guys just gave them a gem right there. We can cut the fucking podcast, guys, and you just got your fucking, like, your gem that you came here for. Like, asking, like you said, asking, what did they walk away with? Because no one knows.
Right.
You know, like, hey, what did you walk away with? And you can just tell them what to walk away with. And you kind of basically break the numbers down with them on what you think they walk away with seller buy downs. You got all this different type of stuff that goes into this. What do they actually leave with? And you probably can offer that to them in cash. But it's like, hey, they probably call them and ask them what they walk away with. And they'll probably say, hey, they walked away with this much. And you're like, okay, cool. I can give you your kitchen's like this, your roof's like this, your roof like this. I can give you fair market value of what they walked away with in fucking cash. So we ain't got to go through that entire process they went through, waiting for somebody to qualify for a mortgage, waiting for all this stuff to happen. So that was a fucking great gem. So thank you for dropping that gem right there.
Of course. Make them realize you're here to help. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, listen, you want what your neighbor walked away with. And a lot of times, even if your house is next to this house, your house was built in 1985, their house was built in 2018.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to walk away with what they walked away with? No problem. I will give you what they walked away with. As long as you go spend, 10 to 20, 30 grand to making your house look like their house. Now I will give you what they walked away with.
What? Boom. And they don't have that money because they're in their situations. And
Let me help you not bang your head ahead of time before you list on the market and you get your feelings hurt because you're not getting what the neighbor walked away with. You don't have what they have in their house.
Yeah, 100%. And like Shawn said with the distress part, far as in everybody, the ideal of a lead, right? Because it's so easy. And I think agencies, and I got an agency, and I think they have messed up the industry. And they've messed up the industry a lot, man. With the lying, with the conniving, with all of that other shit up in there, where it's like it's easy to say, hey, I only get you motivated seller leads. Not only get you motivated seller leads, but I only get you distressed leads coming to you. We changed our whole pitch. You get on a call with it, I'm gonna tell you, dude, you're not getting results in the first month. Like, I'm just gonna tell you that. Like, yes, most of our clients, 80% of our clients probably get some contracts locked up in the first month, for sure. But we don't bet on that because we don't know how good of a sales guy you are. But we try to do a good vetting process to make sure you're good. But most of them want, dude, they have to throw me in their house. I don't want to touch it unless they want less. You're the sales guy. Do your fucking job. We're just the marketers, guys. That's why marketing and sales go hand in hand. That's why we're doing the quality calls. Because if I don't know how the sales calls are going, and if you come back and say that person wanted too much, let's imagine. Like Dylan was telling me when I came to you guys' office, there was this deal in this area, this fucking small town. He said 2,000 people in there. And he said it was 2,000 people in there. He got a novation deal, locked it up, got a spread for 40 bands. Called him locked, got a novation for $40,000. And I'm like, dude, and I was like, dude, a big ass spread in a tiny area? He was like, yeah, dude, because wholesalers won't touch it. They won't touch them. He's like, they scared because there's no cash buyers out there in those markets. Me, locked it up, 40 bands, it wasn't even on that market that long. Somebody came and took it down. $40,000 spread, dude. That's super insane. And that's just because it's not like those probably is more motivated because nobody else ain't touching them. So they probably is a little bit more motivated because real estate investors aren't hitting them up that much. But I really think that's important, Shawn. But now let's jump into another segment, guys, because I want to just talk about all segments. I really want Shawn to talk more on this one. Systems. Let's say, what do you think? First thing, we said business. They don't understand business. Agreed. They don't understand the lead. That so far as in, dude, you got a killer dispo team. You got a killer sales team. The best, the cream of the crop. Like you said, dude, the cream rise to the top, and these guys are at the fucking top, right? Dylan, Chris, these guys are actually doing shit. What do you say recruiting good talent like these fucking guys right here? I know that's hard, and I know you said we were speaking earlier, and you sitting on the couch, you was like, yeah, casually, we hire in threes. I'm like, oh shit, well, I hire in twos. He's like, nah, we hire in threes. Can you explain to them why you hire in threes?
Sure.
And go into the systems.
So there's a few points with that. We'll talk about this whole hiring team. So the first thing you have to do is you have to understand, just like marketing, you're not going to be successful in your first month, which, by the way, I guess we're an anomaly because the minute we got on Courtney's leads, I think we started closing contracts in the first week. But that's rather here nor there.
Don't tell them that because they don't expect the same thing. They're going to come in like, oh, yeah, Shawn did it, I can do it. You guys don't have the fucking that. I hate that. Like not what you just did, but I hate that they compare themselves to you when you got Dylan, Chris, you, Carly, you got a fucking player, an A team, and they come in and say, all right, Shawn can do it, I can do it. Then you're going to look at your team as you and a fucking Philippine person taking the calls. You're like, damn, you think you're going to come in and get a deal the first month when this guy got all Americans in here taking the calls, actually building a rapport, guys on a fucking weekend are showing up to the house to get a price reduction, a PR, right? To get a PR price reduction.
Not public relations.
Not public relations. To get a price reduction in person on a weekend, and it's his fucking weekends. He's not mandatory to work. And drop the price by $20,000, lock the deal up, and the deal's finna set to close.
Friday.
So
Friday, setting to close fucking Friday.
Did
You
that
wouldn't have
last
done that.
Saturday.
No one would have done that. He built a team that willing to do that to make that money.
So
that's
that's the thing, right? So that's the first part of it here. So now here's the thing. Just like with marketing, you're not going to be successful right out of the gate, right? Same thing with hiring and building a team. You're not going to be successful right out of the gate. You're going to go through your fair share. I've been through my fair share. We've been lied to. We've been stolen from. We've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, okay? We've gone through the ringer ourselves with people that we've brought in. And, you know, some people say I have a good heart. I treat everyone like family. And that's been the reason why we've been burned so much, because people think, oh, wow, I'm a part of a family this fast. I could go take advantage real quick.
Ooh.
And we'll get into those points later on.
Yes, please do.
With that being said, it all starts with how self-aware you are in realizing you're not going to bat 10 for 10. You're not batting a 1,000, I think it is in baseball, right? The average all-star baseball batter bats .3, which means for every 10 pitches he gets, he hits only 3. And that's an all-star batter. So you have to understand that, first of all. Now, what you have to do is you have to identify your avatar. You have to reverse engineer. So you identify your avatar, then you reverse engineer. So what does the ideal person in your organization look like? That's where it starts. So you have to build that out. Like I remember growing up, I was a big NBA 2K, my career type of player. And so I'd go on to the build your own character, build your own player, and I'd say, you know, I want to be 7'5", and I'm gonna have the biggest wingspan and all this stuff, and I'm gonna play center, whatever,
defense,
maybe.
yeah.
So I build out my
Rebound,
avatar.
yeah.
So likewise in business, if you're looking to successfully build a team, you have to first create your avatar. What does that look like? I want someone who's competitive. I want someone who, you know, has this experience, this background, right? Well-spoken, from this area, okay? All of these things matter, right? So you build out your avatar. So for us, I'll be very upfront and honest, our avatar of who we know is a successful player on our team is very clear. It's ex-military, ex-athletes.
Yep.
Between the age of 21 and up.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'll touch on why 21 and up. 21 is the bare minimum we'll ever hire. I have some stories. 21 and up, ex-military, ex-athletes. That is the number one avatar. Notice we are a sales and marketing organization. I never once mentioned sales background. Why did I not do that? Because the reality is that to be a successful company, and this is what a lot of people don't understand, a successful company that is converting on a high level consistently has the tools and infrastructure set up to take someone off the street and make them into a killer. If their training is that good. And that's what is required to do this. So we look at character traits. We say, okay, what do military vets and ex-athletes have in common? Super competitive individuals, because that's what we want. We want people that are driving the culture upwards. We truly, truly believe in an iron sharpens iron environment.
Oh, 100%.
Critical for us.
They do. They fucking do, guys. 100%.
So how do you achieve that? How do you achieve an iron sharpens iron environment?
Yeah.
You have to have sharp players.
Yeah.
All the way through. And you know what's crazy? One bad apple ruins the bunch. A dull sword will make the other sword dull. So iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
Sharp iron sharpens sharper iron.
Yeah.
But if you have a dull blade
Yeah.
and you hit it with a sharp blade, the dull blade doesn't go sharp.
Yeah.
The sharp blade goes dull. Understand that. It's critical to understand that. And so when you understand, okay, what are our core values in our organization, which for us is very clear. We're all about competition, loyalty, respect, hard work, and you truly embody those values, then you go out and you say, okay, who fits those characteristics? And you evaluate and you understand, okay, you know what? Athletes. There's a reason I never played football growing up. I'm a huge football fan. But you had to give up your entire summer vacation. You did not have a summer vacation if you were an athlete in school.
No, you did not.
And so that was a huge big deal because my family loved to travel for summer break. We leave for 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Fortunate to have a good childhood in that regard, well-traveled, which gives me a lot of perspective. We'll touch on that later on.
100%.
So athletes have that. Then you touch on another key core value for us on top of competition is leadership. And leadership is not telling someone what to do, but it's who, what, why, how. Understand what I just said. Leadership equals who, what, why, how. Are you willing as a boss, as a manager, as a leader, to just, are you going to tell them what to do? Or are you going to say, hey, here's what needs to be done. Here's how you're going to do it. Here's who's going to be involved. Here's why you're doing it. And hey, real quick, let me show you how to do it. Are you going to go to that extra mile? That's a leader. And in the military, I respect the military so much because in the military, if a war breaks out, leadership's jumping into the battlefield. They're with their team. They're with their group. And so when you evaluate who's successful with us, it's that mold, right? But jumping back to the point of how do you build an elite team? How do you go about recruiting that? Again, it's first about analyzing your avatar, setting that up, then reverse engineering what you're looking for. And then it's simple. Go out on Indeed, go out on LinkedIn, go to the job boards. Ask for referrals. One killer will usually know another killer because you are truly a byproduct of the 5 people you surround yourself with.
100%.
And so if that is truly a reality and we truly believe in that law, then we know, okay, if you have a killer already on the team, ask for referrals. And they're more likely than not going to bring someone else to the table that embodies the same values and can perform in a similar manner to that person.
100%.
And so that's the next step. Then you go through the cycles. You do your phone interview. You feel them out on the phone. You feel like this is someone who I can have an in-person with. This is someone who's worth the time to bring to the office. You bring them into the office. When you're in the office, you ask them questions. And we ask a plethora of different questions with regards to what our core values are. Again, everything boils down to core values. And the problem is, again, in our country right now, our country is more divided than it has ever been. And so the reality is, and this is actually good for us because we're killers, but a lot of people in our industry and in our environment have gone soft. And so they look at our business specifically and say, oh man, you're robbing equity from homeowners or you're stealing from people and oh, how can you give them 50% of what their home is worth? How does that work? That's not fair. So how do we feel these people out? Well, we do something that's pretty interesting. Towards the end of our in-person interviews, we'll ask them questions. We'll say, hey, I'd like to ask for your thoughts on certain words, and we'll play a rapid fire. So I'll do it live here with Courtney. Let's put Courtney on the spot. So pretend, Courtney, you're interviewing right now to be on Ember's acquisitions team, which we'd love to have you.
By the way, Dylan told me these questions. I started implementing them when I came to you guys' office. I started implementing them. Killer sales guys from it. Killer sales guys from it. Dude, so go ahead. I don't know I don't know what questions even to ask me, but Dylan told me like some of the questions you asked for sure.
So we'll start off super easy. Leadership. What comes to mind? So we ask him what comes to mind.
Sports.
Okay. Fair enough. Competition.
Dog.
Okay. Customer.
That's my livelihood, though. My customers, my livelihood.
Money.
Capitalism.
There you go.
The greatest fucking thing ever invented. But
pause it right there. So there you go. So what he just said right there. So what happens is when I throw the question of what are your thoughts on capitalism, the person in front of you, 50% of the time, their face goes red. And they get really scared. Because they think I just asked them, are you Democrat or Republican? And they don't realize the seat you're sitting in is a byproduct of capitalism. And only in America can you truly achieve a capitalistic framework in society. And so it's very intriguing to hear the response that the interviewee gives in this scenario. And it tells us everything we need to know about if they're going to be successful with us or not. Because the reality is in our business, it is a truly capitalistic business. We capitalize on situations, the market, And capitalism is great because what I mean by we capitalize on the market is when interest rates are low, we can pay more for properties. That's us capitalizing on the environment that's been created by the market.
Yeah.
And that's what capitalism truly is. And so we're able to feel out potential interviews because some people come in and say, not so good. You just don't want that person. Not in our business.
Yeah.
That's great for the nonprofit that's all about humanitarian relief efforts and that kind of a deal. And again, we're not asking a political question. We're truly asking, do you believe in the groundwork and framework that has allowed this company to be in a position to even be able to interview you? And so that's what we do. And so these are questions, you have to make your own questions based on your core values.
Yeah.
And that's how you go about eliminating people from your talent pool and hiring the right fit for the job. You build out that team, and then where we have it now is it's pretty cool. It's self-policing. I do not sit in any interviews because our team is so elite. And our team shares in all the core values at such a strong level that now they know who's good and who's not. And our team knows within 5 days of someone working with us, are they going to be here and how long are they going to be here for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same thing. And he's not lying, bro. Those questions, I implemented it, and I've seen this team culture around the same thing. We get guys on the call. They'll be like, yeah, that person's not going to make it. So the leadership, even not the people that isn't on the leadership, we'll be like, oh, yeah, that guy's not going to make it. He's not going to be here that long. What he was just saying, man, dude, like asking the right questions in the interviewing process and the type of characters that he get, the type of core values. Flew out to the office 4 to 6 months ago.
Yes.
Flew out, and I sat down with a sales manager, and we sit in there, he was just telling me some of the questions. As soon as I got back, I'm like, I'm curious. Why you ask these questions? I start asking them in my interviews questions like he was telling me he actually like entrepreneur, introvert. I want to see if you okay with being a right-hand man. You know, like little questions like that. I'm like, all right, I like this guy. Those are good questions. I start implementing them. And now you said you don't have to sit in on the interviews because your team self-police. Like, I have to work as hard to be at the same table as this fucking guy. Because you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around. To sit at the table with Chris and make calls with Chris, you got to be a bad motherfucker. To sit at the table with Dylan, you have to, and to make calls and stay there, you have to be a bad motherfucker. Because it's like, shit, dude, you have to be a bad motherfucker on your good day. You know what I mean? Like, you're having a bad day, you're having a terrible day, you still have to perform on some level. Because Chris, on his bad day, he's still outperforming you on your great day. So it's like to be next to him, you not at the beginning, you're not afford to have any days. So that's why Chris will look at this guy and probably like, yeah, he's not gonna make it. Yep. Same thing with us that happened in our team. It was like, oh yeah, they'll pull me to the side and like, Courtney, that person isn't gonna last that long. I think they're shy. I think they're too scared because we call out. We got a big call out culture. I guess that's called self-policing. Yes. Big call out. Yeah, dude, why you didn't do this? You don't do this again, you off the team instantly. Like I don't mind. Like it's just like that. Like, hey, do you have to perform? You don't want to perform? I totally understand. All right, get off the team because it's like. So many people want to work for somebody like you and actually get the amount of money that you're getting your sales guys, which is the truth. If you want to talk about that, you could, but you don't have to. Fucking fill out a form on Indeed, guys, if you want to actually talk to these guys. I think most guys that are watching this, you think you're in real estate, you're thinking about trying fucking real estate, guys, don't go in wholesale. I would rather you guys follow a guy like this, let him hire you if you're in Atlanta, Georgia. If you think you're a savage, you think you got what it takes, go and submit a fucking interview to work for these guys, work beside him, Carla's in the office, she's a badass. Fucking girl probably honestly run circles around all you guys, to tell you the truth. Dylan, he can't shoot that well, but he's a fucking great guy too. You know, go on work side. Go ahead. I lost money to him actually, but go to these guys. Like, and just sit. I would rather you guys do that. You'll learn way more than you're going to try to learn that shit yourself and buying anybody course. Because I don't care what course, I don't care what training you get. Sit in the office with guys and have them pay you to actually learn what they learn, and then probably later on in the future do your own thing. But I promise you, you'll never make more money by yourself than you'll probably make with these guys per month. And it's just because the way they have it set up, and it's just a good culture, right? And most people, when they start wholesaling, like you said, it's like, oh, I want to get money quick. You can start, biggest ads I see now. Get a real estate investor literally $0. That shit is not fucking free. I'm telling you it's gonna be $0, then I'm gonna give you a course and then sell you a course for fucking $2,000. Then when you get the course for $2,000, guess what you gotta buy? CRM. I guess you gotta do buy a list. And like literally you buying a lot of money and closing like probably 1 to 2 people a month probably close a deal with zero. And that's thousands, tens of thousands, 20s of thousands of wholesalers. But probably 1 or 2 of them honestly probably close deal with 0 to no money. And those guys can't fucking scale. And the guys that really can't scale are the guys that want those distressed leads all the time. They want to be bird fed. That's what we call them in our company. You don't want the inbound leads, you want to be bird fed. You don't want the good quality ones, you just want to be bird fed the whole time. Go on, fucking get back where you came from. If somebody fuck up on our team, all right, you only on outbounds for the day. They hate it, but then they're like, yeah, dude, I'm glad I hit outbound.
Yep.
Because I feel like that dog back in me. I feel like, dude, I make the most calls. I was just knocking it out. That's what we want to see. Everybody want to be bird fed the good leads I don't want to work for. You still got to fucking work. Even if it's a good lead, like you were saying, you still have to fucking work, dust your ass off and work your ass off, guys. And Chris was saying something that was really important. You were saying something about being uncomfortable. Competitive. What was that? Can you go into that a little bit for me?
Yeah, one more question we asked in the interviews, like, are you comfortable? Obviously, a lot of people have heard this saying before. Are you comfortable being uncomfortable? Are you comfortable with uncomfortable competition? So I'm telling you what, man, you get in there with a guy like, I'm a humble guy, but I'll be honest with you, I'm an honest guy too. You get in there and you get in that office with guys like me and Dylan, it get real uncomfortable. It gets real uncomfortable. We make it uncomfortable to be around. So much so that somebody think you about to step in between us.
Yeah.
Because it get real hot in there. Get real hot in there. The pressure is on and we don't fucking stop. I get a bare minimum of 10 contracts a month. And guess what? Dylan's coming. I'm going to get one more. All the way to midnight of the last day of the month. And then we're already racking up for the next month. Yeah. Most contracts, most talk time, most calls made, most closings, everything. Dylan and I, we like go at each other's necks. All right, you got a lot of contracts. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a loser. You know what I'm saying? I aim to win. So any way it goes, even if I'm losing him on contracts, the contract count, I'd be like, all right. My common thing I always told Shawn, what I used to say, like, dang man, Dylan got 16 and you sitting at 8. I'd be like, okay, how many of them gonna close?
Okay.
Let's talk about the revenue at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And then you know what I'm saying? I'm still
competing in some way.
I'm still pushing in a certain way. I'm not gonna never be out the game. I'm not gonna never be out the game.
Okay. And I like that, dude, because it's real. I've been to their office. I get in there, I talk shit. I don't even talk shit. You know what I mean? Like I talk a lot of shit, but I don't wholesale talk shit. I get in there and tell them, like, I walk up in there like, Chris is better than Dylan. Motherfuckers finna fight. I'm like, damn, bro. I'm just talking shit. They up in there like shitting me. And I'm like, damn. They like, all right, don't get him started. When we first got here, I was talking shit at the table. I'm at the table, and I'm like, yeah, Chris, all right, Dylan's good. He's like, shitting me. And he was like, bro, don't get him started, please. He was like, all right, guys, let's calm down. Don't get him started. We'll call Dylan up, and they'll have a conversation that lasts all night. And we won't be able to get none done because he's just going to be honestly just talking shit. Pull up the hoods. I closed this. How many contracts you got last month? Oh, you're not as good as what you did last month. How many contracts you got right now? You man, dude, last month I closed this much. Shit, don't worry about last month, dude. Just arguing back and forth, and it's just motivating. Like, all right, that motherfucker think he's better than me. Let me get one more contract, and that's all it is. Because if I get beat, I'd rather get beat by fucking 20 points than get beat by 1. I'm not gonna lie, like, cause I'm looking at it like I'm that much closer to winning, and I lost by fucking 1, beat me by 20, made it a landslide. I know where I fucked up at, but if you get 1 contract more than me, cause you got a good Facebook lead and that bitch closed, I'm fucking pissed. I ain't going to sleep that night. Right. I'm going hard the next month in that momentum, and I think you guys have perfected that in the sales culture.
You don't want to make it close. We don't want to make it close at all.
That's what I'm saying, and that's AQ right there, guys. Now Dispo, still savages, cause I was talking to him, I didn't know this. Now I'm gonna start telling my clients this. Shawn was telling me, my guy Chris was telling me, in this market right now, you have to be, and I'm like, shit, I didn't, which is so crazy I didn't know this. You have to, like, Dispo is selling too. Yes. You only think Act is selling, that's what most guys fuck up too there, Shawn. You want to touch in a little bit of that, bro? Because Dispo fucking sells too. Guys think it's just like, oh, I got a good deal, I'm just gonna give you a good deal. With this market, Shawn, lay some fucking gems on it.
The reality is and you're spot on. The misconception in our industry is that if I have a good deal, the deal sells itself. That is no longer the case. Because the reality is, due to where we are at in interest rates, and this is going back to the common theme of where I'm at and my grievances with our industry currently with regards to the lack of true business acumen with what we do, is, do you understand where interest rates are at? Do you understand how much liquidity, how much cash has been sucked out of the market because investors cannot afford to purchase these deals, even if they are good deals, due to how much interest they have to pay on a monthly basis before they can turn the property around? So even if, hey, I know I can buy this for 100 and flip it for 150 or whatever the case may be, the reality is, what does my hold time look like? And your hold times have increased because buyers have less liquidity. So the same buyer that 12 months ago could afford a $500,000 home, today can only afford a $300,000 home.
Yeah.
Because of their monthly payment. And that's another thing that we need to recognize, identify, and then capitalize, which is why I go back to how important capitalism is in our country specifically, because we could truly capitalize on situations. Identify, analyze, and capitalize. The reality is that do you understand that with interest rates being the way they are you self-aware in understanding our demographics as a country? The average American thinks of everything they do in the form of monthly payments.
Okay.
A lot of other places in the entire world don't think with that logic. We have a company in Pakistan, our sister company, under the same Ember conglomerate, with over 200 employees over there working for us. We're blessed in terms of what we've been able to accomplish there in a very short amount of time. They don't do mortgages.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Everyone pays cash for their properties.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, it's obviously cheaper to buy a house over there.
Yeah.
But everything is cash. They don't do mortgages. So we are one of very few societies, modern day advanced societies, mind you, that still operate with a mentality of what is my monthly payment? What do I make a month? Right? So what you got to understand is, can you capitalize on understanding where we are at as a modern day civilization? Understanding that if we operate in a monthly time frame, and we understand truly, because we have business acumen, that interest rates are where they are. We understand now that it costs the investor more to hold a property on a monthly basis, because a lot of investors' money is based on monthly interest. And a lot of people don't know that. Can you believe a majority of our industry, again, speaking about business acumen, don't understand that when you sell a property to an investor, let's just say for $100,000, that investor is not paying $100,000 for that house. Predominantly, I can confidently say 51% plus, aka a majority of investors that purchase properties from wholesalers use interest money. They don't use cash. They use money that they picked up on interest. And they're paying that interest on a monthly basis. So when they purchase the property from you for $100,000, I personally know investors that pick up money for 2% a month, meaning that it's costing them $2,000 a month just in interest to purchase said property. So now you have that situation. Well, the reality is our days on market in our metro has doubled in comparison to where we were 12 months ago. So now what you understand is, not only is it costing the investor more percentage interest on a monthly basis to just hold the property that they purchased from you, it's also taking longer to sell the property because there's less qualified buyers for those houses. So now not only did the investor's monthly interest payment go up, so the amount it costs them to actually acquire a property, their cost per acquisition, but also their average turnaround time has increased. So when that happens, an investor is going to prioritize differently. And so in those situations, they're going to be more risk adverse and take on the best deals possible. And so in a situation like we are at today, where our industry on a daily basis is becoming more and more saturated, as people get sold pipe dreams from gurus who have never experienced a down market, who switched up in down markets and said, I only know how to make money when the market is good, and now that the market is not good, I'm going to go sell a pipe dream course for $9.97 saying you can go from zero to hero in 30 days. The reality is,
he's not lying,
is that people have to now sell the deal. It's not just, hey, I have a deal. It's, hey, Johnny, I know you love purchasing in this area and you're confident about this area, and you know, this house has exactly this, and this done for it. And oh man, come on, Johnny, you know this is up and coming area. You gotta sell the sizzle of the deal, right? Gone are the days where people are coming to your restaurant just to purchase the steak.
Yeah.
They want to know about the sizzle.
Yeah.
And so it's your job now to sell the sizzle, to smell. They need to smell it. The investors got to smell the deal. They're not just going to come and say, hey, one deal, please. They're going to come and they're going to ask Dispo questions. They need to smell the deal. That's going to give them confidence to go in and eat the steak.
Boom.
Right? And that's where Dispo comes in so strong now, where it's not just about, hey, pitching a property and moving on. It's about pitching a deal, following up with people on a consistent basis. Hey, are you interested in this deal? And then going back to avatar building and reverse engineering. Are you asking your investors that you just pitched a property to, hey, Mr. Investor, I know I pitched this property to you. You didn't purchase it from us. You said not interested. Can I ask you why? The biggest problem our industry faces, and we make this mistake sometimes as well, we're not proactive enough. Our industry as a whole is not proactive enough. Are you asking the person who just turned down the deal that you have on the table that you think is a good deal with the deepest bone in your body? Are you asking them, interested in this property, Mr. Investor? Because now you can build an avatar for that person and you understand very clearly what they are looking for. So when the next situation comes, to get that deal, to be able to get it across the finish line. The problem is no one's doing that. You pitch it, you move on to the next person. You pitch it, you move on to the next person. Because the problem is it's instant gratification. I heard a no here. I'm immediately seeking instant gratification. I need to go find my yes. Stop over prioritizing finding your yes. Work harder for long-term results. How can you get yes? How can you get, instead of trying to get one yes out of one person, how can you long-term get 100 yeses out of one person? And that comes from not seeking instant gratification. Where can I go sell this deal right now? And oh, he buys that deal for me. I love him now today. But did you go ask the other 99 people why they didn't like your deal? Did you go ask them, hey, what do you like? Or hey, in an ideal scenario, I know you're not interested in this deal. What would have made you interested in this deal? Because Courtney, the reality is this, my friend. Are you in the market for an iPhone today? Are you looking for a new phone right now?
No.
No, okay. If I came to you right now with this iPhone 15, said, Courtney, I'll sell you this iPhone 15 right now for $25. Would you take it from me?
To resell it, yeah.
But I thought you just said you're not in the market for iPhone. So what changed?
Yeah.
Everything has a price in our industry, and not interested eventually turns into interested. You won't sell your house to me today. You won't sell your house to me in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years. Even those who believe they will live and die in the same house for their entire life, I got a news flash. The minute the house gets handed down to the children, they're looking to sell.
Gone.
And so the reality is that we are in an industry where no matter what, if death is certain, this is certain, that the assets do trade hands. And it's about, were you in the right place at the right time to execute, even though 99% of people you talk to on an ongoing basis will say not interested. The reality is that everyone's interested. You just didn't catch them at the right time.
Boom. I like that. And that goes back to the motivated leads too. As far as, like you said, like it's like, I'm not interested in selling now, but I can sell later down the line. Right? As far as in, you just ain't catch me at the right time, or you did. I show interest. I raised my hand and fill out your form.
Yes.
That's all I need. I take it from here. Most people want us to do most of the work.
Exactly.
And then they take it from there and they fuck it up. Even if they lock up deals, they don't know Dispo, man. Like you were telling me, he was like, man, dude, Courtney, it isn't just posted in the Facebook group anymore and let people jump on it. Because their holding cost, like the holding cost is double. So now, like, you have to reevaluate, like the buy boxes and stuff like that. But most people aren't doing that.
But not only are the holding costs double, that's the thing. The holding costs are double, and the time of holding is double.
Yeah. Boom.
So the investor's getting screwed from every angle.
So they're like, why would they buy a deal from you? And like you said, like, gotta make them smell the sizzle. Then they go in for the steak. Like, you ever walk by a good steakhouse, like, oh, I'm really big into cigars. I walk by a cigar shop, dude, and I smell the stogies. I'm like, all right, dude, I'm in there. That's probably a fucking problem with me, but I literally walk by, like, man, it smell like they finding up some good stogies in there. And then I smelled it. And I wanted to go in, and now I'm in there, now I'm interested. I could just be walking by, and I don't care about a stogie. I got a lot of stogies. I got like 1,000, 2,000 and back at home in my humidor. So I'm walking. I don't need a stogie. But I smell it. Oh, shit. I want a stogie. So that is like, basically, I'm interested. I wasn't interested, kind of like what you did with the iPhone. You're selling me for $25, I will buy it. And it's the same thing with We're like real estate investors, man. They don't understand the dispo side. Like you guys have cracked the AQ side and you guys have cracked the dispo side as far as and just don't drop it in the just don't drop it in the Facebook group and think the deal's gonna sell. Don't just put it on Facebook Marketplace thinking it's gonna sell. He have a fucking team calling agents, skip tracing who buying in that area, calling them, building a rapport, making dials. His dispo guys on a deal have to make a lot of calls per day. He can, like, guys, if you want to know more about him, just DM him and ask him when you're watching this video and say, man, how many dials are they making? He can tell you guys his whole infrastructure if you want to. Probably charge you guys a little bit, but I guarantee you, whatever you guys paid everybody else, whatever you guys paid anybody, you get 20 times more value than I'm not even a fucking wholesaler. And I guarantee you I can make way more in wholesaling from being a couple of days with this fucking guy in his sales and we just sit down, questions like this, smoking some stogies, drinking, just chill, having a good time. Or in a fucking 10-minute Uber ride, I've learned more from this guy than 2-hour podcast with some guys. A 10-minute Uber ride, guys. We're talking about deals. We're talking about little gems and little shit like that. And I think a lot of people are at that stage where they're tired of the little BS shit and saying, like you said, distressed seller and, hey, yeah, you want to come in and get a deal in your first 30 days. Fuck that. Tell the truth. The truth always prevails, and this is one thing I can say about Shawn. He has been an open book. I don't think you've not one time he'll pull shit up. Hey, Courtney, you want to see this? I don't know if you want me to tell her this. If not, I cut it out.
Go ahead.
Courtney. All right, I'll go get my P&Ls right now. Sit right here. All right. Walked up, got his laptop. All right, so so this is what we're trying to do right here. This is what we're trying to accomplish. This is how much money here. This is how many Facebook leads we need. All right, we need this many Facebook leads. This many sales guys gonna have them. So if I have to scale up the ACT team to this much, then I'm gonna have to scale the dispo team up to this much right here. And all right, I think we're all good there. Can fucking just pull it up to me. Hey, yep, put in the numbers right here and show me. Can you do that? No. What's your cash conversion cycle? Hey, Courtney, this is what we're doing. About 1 in 10 Facebook leads convert. All right, out of 1 in 10 that converts, our cost per lead is this right here. So if we get that cost per lead right here, I can keep the whole team fed because it's not even about me. You know what this motherfucker gonna tell me? Yeah. If let's say we increase by extra $10,000. Let's just say he can pay himself an extra 10 grand a month. He's like, Courtney, I'm not even gonna take the money. I'm gonna put it back in the company. Put it back into Facebook ads. Why? Because that $10,000 that I could have took home, got another Lamborghini that I could have actually took home. Guess what I did? I put it back into Facebook ads. Then what happens? My team then makes $10,000 plus a month, $20,000 plus. I can take the 10 grand home and chill and sit back and just be happy. Like what most people get in the game for to make that money. But you're like, nah, I can put it back in Facebook ads, then let them go and get a couple deals, lock up big spreads. Now they made the $10,000, $20,000.
Because we didn't come into the game for the quick cash, the get rich quick like everyone else. We came into the game to dominate, to conquer, to be one of the greatest of all time when it's all said and done. And the reality is that we have truly set up and mastered building out an infrastructure to where I can confidently say that over 50% of our team makes more than the average entrepreneur, mom and pop, be your own boss, BS wholesaler that's sitting at home right now, working out of their bedroom. And not taking this thing seriously, working in their pajamas.
Yeah,
right?
100, dude. And
it's just a different story.
It's a different story. And I talked to them, guys. I talked to probably like 150 wholesalers. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys are watching this probably have been on one of my sales calls because I get a lot of them on my sales calls. I talked to 150 of you guys per freaking week alone. Me and my team, we talked to them and guys, there's probably only 99.1% are actually doing deals. And out of that 1%, 0.01%. So it's like 0.001% is probably companies. Like I was telling you earlier, that's probably only fucking 5-10 guys in the industry that like is on your level. Like 5-10 guys max, guys. He's 21, and those guys if you check the ages of the guys that are actually on this level, you'll be like double his age or like 1.5 times older than them. You're like, fuck, dude, why are you able to accomplish this shit at 20? And it took some guys 40 years, 30 plus years, 50 years to master. You mastered it in 20. And there's guys been in the industry, man. And you know what I hate the most? We get on a sale call. Instantly, it's an instant turn off for me and my client. If you bring it on as a client, because we vet them. We got a good vetting process. We get old people on there, like 40 years old. Yeah, man. I was the one of the first guys at wholesaling when people didn't know what wholesaling was. Back in 2008, yeah, I used to be flipping contracts, not even knowing I flipping contracts because they didn't want to flip because the market crashed. So I was already doing wholesaling before everybody knew what wholesaling was. Now it got popular. How many deals you doing now? Oh, I'm getting back into it. Oh, what happened? I took 5 years off, 10 years off. Then they go and talk. They don't make a decision. They come back in and I think I'm ready to move forward. Yeah, how much money you got? No money. What are you doing now? Oh yeah, dude, I'm working. I'm in college. Like, or hey man, I'm working a fucking full-time job. But you was one of the first. It's not about being the first. It's about being the last. And we came here to last. And that's what he just saying. He came here to fucking dominate. Guys, and I think that mindset shift, and you're not going to fucking kill it like that, guys. If you came in, want to get a deal in your first fucking month. Guys, I'm telling you, go check Shawn out. Ask him for some coaching. If you don't get value from this fucking guy, I will pay whatever he'll charge you for you. That's how much I believe in this guy, and I was never saying that for nobody else. Please don't make me cash in. No problem. But I do not think he will make me cash in. I'll put my money on that alone. That's if he want to fucking charge you, because so, I had to beg him to get on this motherfucker.
I'll share some statistics as well with regards to what you said about the youthfulness aspect of things. Our firm this year, so our firm is led by a 21-year-old chief executive officer, and we've got a great team. Our firm this year, from real estate acquisitions perspective, will move around $40 million worth of real estate assets and yield usually around a 10% gross profit on that. And we'll do that across 5 or 6 major markets within metros, around a 100-mile radius of all major metros within the 6 major markets we operate within. Again, that's $40 million with real estate assets. And we've been, I launched the company when I was 16 years old, and we moved well over millions of assets by 17, and we've done millions of dollars in gross profit every year, year over year since I've been 17 to now, where we're at 21. And the reality is, at this stage in my career, what I've realized is we have mastered the art of being a kingmaker. And we spoke about this. We spoke about this a few nights ago. But the reality is that we have seen people come through our company in debt, not in a committed relationship, no children, not married, don't have a home for themselves, don't have a car for themselves when they come in. And in 12 months, they've paid off 5 figures worth of debt. They're married, they're having kids, they just bought their dream car, they're buying a house, and we do that in a 12-month turnaround and a 24-month turnaround. We're able to accomplish that with people, and that is the most fulfilling part of this. And when you talk about leadership and how we've been able to do this, and how I've been able to lead the team at such a young age, it's because of a very simple management philosophy that I picked up on, which is, in business, most companies, leadership specifically, focus on taking care of the company. Leadership across most major companies focus on one thing, and that's taking care of business, taking care of the company. And our leadership team truly personifies the complete opposite model. Because the reality is in leadership, we're very few. There's more people in other roles in our company than there are in leadership, of course. That's with any company. Yeah. And so the reality is that we've taken a complete opposite approach to that model, where most companies say, our number one prerogative is to take care of our company. We say there's strength in numbers. And if we truly are as talented from a business perspective as we think we are, let's put our money where our mouth is, and realize that the smart solution to truly scaling a successful company long term is not for leadership to focus their efforts on taking care of the company, but rather make their prerogative focusing on the success and taking care of the people within the company. And the reality is that if you nail the hiring process, if you have the right core values, the people in your company that you take care of, in retrospect, will take care of your company. And it'll be tenfold with regards to how much care your company will be treated with than what you can accomplish or your small leadership team can accomplish. And we embody that, and that's why we've been so successful.
All right, guys, you fucking heard it here. First, I'm pretty sure you've been on a lot of interviews, but guys, the gems that he have dropped, people literally save to give you a little free shit. They save that stuff to make you pay the big dollars for. So what you're paying the big dollars for, he just gave it away for free. Just imagine if you pay him big dollars, what he's gonna give you. You see, he just switched up the fucking game right there. Checkmate to everybody that's actually teaching you coaching. They give you little shit. Then they charge you $10,000 for that stuff that he just said. But that's his little shit he's giving you. Imagine what he can give you if you paid him a lot of money. I don't even know. He don't even got coaching. I'm just giving him. He don't even like, bro, we don't even take over. I'm just telling him he probably should start teaching people giving back. That's going to be his decision, guys. But if he do start, I will tell you guys that for a limited time, if you don't go and get the value from him, I will pay you what you paid him if he don't give you that value. That's how much I really believe that this guy is honestly the shit and talk about the shit. But that's going to conclude it for the day, guys. Leave a like, comment, yes, if you guys want him on the next fucking podcast so we can actually break that shit down like sales, go deeper, dispo, get Chris back on here, probably get Dylan, Carly, everybody at the table. I'll fly to the office with them if they fucking let me, guys, and actually just bring up the camera.
Yeah.
See the whole office, guys, and shoot a podcast. You can actually, we'll probably do a Q&A. That'll be so dope, guys. We do a Q&A and get your questions asked. That'll be get your questions answered. But that kind of wrap it up for tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys learned a lot. If you guys have, share it. But to conclude this, I want to actually, guys, go follow these fucking guys. You want money? Follow money. Your friends are broke. Guys, literally when we first got here, it was money, 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 money. I kid you not. But if you're uncomfortable with uncomfortable competition, don't follow them. It's not worth it, guys, because I promise you, they're not even flexers. Like, they're humble. Like, I literally, in a video, he got a Rolex on. In the video, Gio was shooting for us. I tried to pull his arm up. He was like, no, we don't flex there. But he's super competitive. We're playing volleyball, bro, and we're fucking like, it's like 8 guys. For one, they thought we was a football player. That was kind of cool. But it's like, we're just super competitive. So if you're uncomfortable with that many people being super competitive, don't follow them because they will call you shit. And they don't mind saying, yeah, dude, you're not hitting what you show me the HUD. Shut the fuck up.
At Shawn Surani on Instagram. That's ShawnSurani on Instagram. Our company's Ember Homes, EMBERHOMES. We got C Camp in the building.
Yeah, at Campbell25_ CAMPBELL25.
Boom. And that's it, guys. That's the conclusion of the day, guys. If you like it, share it with your buddy. And guys, if you're honestly thinking about getting into wholesaling, I will recommend you guys working for somebody like these guys instead of trying to start it yourself. But if you did try to start it yourself, don't think it's going to be fucking easy, because it's not. And then how come I know it's not? Because you're going to be competing with these guys. So if you got what it takes, you got what it takes. But stay tuned for the next video, and you can actually see what their sales team do, and you're going to realize that you got to have your dog in you when you're going against fucking bigger dogs. I'm not even going to lie. All right, guys, so let's conclude it. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next episode.